patient on health matters. It can also be used in that. And also data analysis for service planning. Mr. Smith, please, are you there? I'm just checking to be sure that you are back in the room. I can't see him on the call still, so I hope he's able to join us back. Okay, all right, thank you. So if we also look at, so we've looked at the SMEs because we have a couple of people in that space in the room this afternoon. So we look at SMEs, we look at healthcare, so we look at education in terms of student support, learning content development. How do we ensure that the way we learned physics 30 years ago, children of nowadays are different because of the exposure that they have? How do we ensure that, within the education space, we are speaking to them as teachers, as educators in such a way that, they can easily understand and appreciate what is being taught? So that's one way that in the education sector, we can use that. Parent communication, performance analytics. I spoke with a parent not too long ago, and I think his daughter was about 14 or 15 at the time. They were for a particular subject that the child was struggling with. I think she was getting like a D or something, if I remember clearly. And then father and daughter sat down together and said, let's use AI to see where you are lacking. And they had this communication over a period of time with an AI tool that they used at the time. And they were able to say, do some assessment. And then AI was able to predict areas where the child is lacking, and then eventually created a learning plan for the child. In a couple of months, the child that was a D student became an A student because of this exposure to AI. Not that AI actually just did the work for the child, but they were able to use AI to see how can we make this child better. So in terms of performance, not just the analysis, improvements actually for children, I believe that there is no dull child. It's just that the teachers and then us parents will not figure out what that child is very good at. So this is an area in the education space where AI tools can begin to be useful. So we're just saying all of this because we have a lot of people in the room, can begin to see how you apply this to your business, even to our personal lives as well. Of course, personalized learning support. For those that are in retail and e-commerce, we can look at inventory forecasting. What do I have? How do I manage my inventory successfully? For product recommendations, that is very, you find the AI tools very, very useful in that sense. For customer support, for demand prediction, by the 20th of June, what kind of requests am I going to be getting? So looking at past data, the tools can suggest to you and predict for you what you should expect so that when you are getting demand, you're able to supply the market. Of course, marketing personalization, that's a very critical area and a common area where people use AI a lot. And then in customer behavior, general analysis, how are customer behaving, how are they responding, are they not responding, that can come very, very useful. If you are finding some of these practical cases useful, you can just give us a thumbs up so that we know that, you're actually getting something. I hope somebody is getting something from this. If you are, please, you can just give us a thumb up so that we are not talking to ourselves. Still trying to check. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Trying to reach out to Mr. Smith. Don't know what's going on there with our speakers this afternoon. Thank you. Thank you for all the thumbs up. We appreciate that. Okay, so we've looked at SMEs, we've looked at the financial sector, healthcare, we look at e-commerce. So now let's look at retail and e-commerce. Sorry, no, we did that. And then for professional services, we we are trying to do this so that we can see the different areas where we can use these tools. Document review, for example. So you've written a document, you've written your proposal or what it is, you can actually use these tools to check what are some of the aspects that you're supposed to put there that are not there. It can suggest to you, not for you to just dump everything. And I think I should say that at this point, a lot of people just outsource everything to AI. It doesn't work that way. So we have to look at the humanistic part, of AI. It has to be human-centered. We are still human. We are still in control. So we're not supposed to just outsource and just give everything to AI and then we answer. And whatever result we get, especially from generative AI, we should not just take it verbatim. We can tell Gen AI that, hey, what you have said is not, I'm not quite comfortable with it. I don't like this. I don't like that. You need to have interaction. So I needed to just sound that one. AI is not, is AI is artificial, it's still not human intelligence. So we are more intelligent. But we need to make sure that we have this human-centeredness when we are talking about and using AI. Because of time, I'll quickly go through professional services. I've mentioned document review, research assistant, product. So we are trying to create new products. You can actually use the client reporting, knowledge management, and compliance support. Okay, so I think we've been able to search based on the profile of the people that are in the room, and I believe that we have taken one or two other two places where we can actually use the tool. But the question is, now people are using AI. We ran a poll at the beginning looking at how people are currently adopting AI. I can't remember the percentage, but we see that a sizable number of people within organizations, even without the organization asking their staff, their personnel to use AI tools, they're already using it. And that is where the AI governance, comes in. So the problem in this case now is many organizations are using AI without any governance at all. People are just using it. And the danger with that is how much of your data, your company data, your client's data, Mr. Smith was talking about being able to use data responsibly. So our clients has given us data, we are responsible for it. And now that there is an NDPA, the Nigerian Nigeria Data Protection Act 2023 in place, we have to be extra careful how we use clients' data. Okay, so when we are talking about governance, we have to, as an organization, we have to look at what tools are staff using. You have for Gen AI, you have your ChatGPT, which is the most common. You have the Gemini. Even on WhatsApp, you have your AI tool there. There are tools to generate videos, pictures, and so on. But when you are doing this, you are feeding the AI with your data, with your client's data, with your student's data, with your members' data, with whoever data that you have that has been entrusted into your care. So we need to ask the question around governance, AI governance. What tools are the staff using? What sort of company data, client information, and so on and so forth are being uploaded on these AI platforms? What personal data are involved? We're talking about data protection. What customer information is being exposed? For example, uploading or your customers' names and phone numbers, and they're exposed on these AI tools. What confidential, the organizational confidential information are being put in these public tools, because once you put it there, you can't take it back. What kind of confidential information has been exposed to these tools? What outputs are being verified? So you have asked your AI, and now we are talking mostly of generative AI because that's the most common. There are so many other areas of application, but for the purpose of this conversation this afternoon, we're only focusing mainly on generative AI. Of course, there is agentic AI, but let's not go into that this afternoon. So when the output comes back, do we verify? What is the process of verifying that this is actually accurate? What vendors are using companies' data to train models? So now somebody else has our data, our client's data, our company data. Are they using those data as third parties, as vendors, as partners to actually train models? Like I said earlier, once you put it there, you can't get it. So we need to be careful what is being exposed. Whether the organization can explain or defend AI-assisted decision. Okay, so that's talking generally about AI governance. Just checking that I'm still on. I hope I'm still audible. And I'm trying to see if Mr. Steve is back in the room. Are you there, sir? Okay. I hope I'm still audible. Network is not very friendly this afternoon. Am I still audible, please?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. So because our speakers are not here for network reasons this afternoon, at this point, do we have any question before we go into answering some of the questions that we have communicated with our speakers earlier? We'll try as much as possible. And I see some gurus in the room as well. I'm sure they will also just step in and be able to say one or two things. I see a couple of my guys in the room. Thank you so much for joining. So at this point, does anybody has any question, anything you want to clarify before we go on? We've spoken a lot about data. We'll speak a bit about the NDPA, and then we bring the two of them together, and then we can have a question and answer because of time. Anyone, any quick question? Please make it short. You can please raise your hand. Anyone? Okay, somebody is suggesting that we might have to reschedule this meeting as the speakers are having network issues. Yes, we'll definitely do that. And hopefully we won't have that. We'll do that, but we're already here. So let's still have that conversation. I believe there's a lot that we can learn from one another in this room. Okay, somebody has a question. How does this AI operate? I mean, the tool, how do we get to know, because we have not been using AI in the company? I can tell you that somehow you are using AI. AI has been around for quite a while. It's a technology tool. Even so, the person that asked this question, if I may ask, do you use Google Map? Google Map is some form of AI. So AI generally is when you look at things that you would have done as human, but these systems, these tools, this technology are able to take it from you, take some basic information and give you some sort of information, some sort of analytics. That's where it comes in. Okay, please quickly, Sarah.
Mentioned you in the area of finance, you did not elaborate about the financial aspect. You said AI can help to get grants in what capacity? Because funding is the major aspect of a business to grow. So I'm interested in the area of that. How can that help in the grants or funding, which you mentioned, but there's no more elaboration on it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma.
Okay. So just to correct that a bit, I didn't say that AI will help you get grant. If I remember clearly, I said I had a conversation with somebody a few days ago where they had built this tool that can help you put all your documentations together and get you ready for grant. And they claim, I've not tested them, they claim to have helped a lot of organizations to do that. So in terms of what can be done in that sense is to engage AI and say, who are the organizations that are giving the kind of grants that I'm looking for? One other thing I would like to say in this meeting is what is called prompt engineering. Is being able to ask, to engage with Gen AI, intelligently. The way I look at Gen AI is one guy that is super intelligent that you ask questions from. So if you ask very good questions, you get good responses. But please give me one moment.
You are muted, though.
We can't hear you again.
Oh,
You are
my sincere apologies. My apologies. My apologies. Please forgive me. Okay, so I was talking about prompt engineering, which is something I will encourage everybody in the room to. If you want to effectively use these generative AI tools, you need to know how to ask intelligent questions, how to engage. So, and there are short courses. Even you can engage the AI to say, I am new to AI, so I'm just giving you so prompt is the questions that you ask this AI to, especially, so you can use Gemini, you can use DeepSeek, you can use Cloud, you can use ChatGPT. There are a lot of them out there. The kind of question you ask. So, for example, we could start with, hey, Mr. ChatGPT, I'm here. I'm new in AI. I want to learn about prompt engineering, but I am totally new. I don't know anything. Please teach me. You'll be amazed at what you'll be able to get. If you don't understand something, you can say, hey, you said something about this in number 2. I don't quite understand it. Can you break it down the more until you fully understand that? So I will encourage everyone that are new to this. Let's start from prompt engineering. How are we able to prompt these tools to get what we want? You know, we are focusing on Gen AI, like I said earlier in this meeting. Mr. Smith is joining back. Please, sir, once you are here, just speak. So apparently he had a problem with his network. He was actually speaking and he finished his presentation, but he's going to come back and then we take it from there. So to answer your question on the ground, let's start from prompt engineering. What do you want? What industry are you in? Who are the organizations, local, global, that are giving the kind of grants that you want? So you may be able to get that based on what you currently do and what you are looking at. And then after that, you can write your short proposal, you know, and then refine it, and you continue to refine it. What are the elements that should be there? And then you begin to look at it. And then you never can tell what you can get from there. So that's one way I would advise that that we engage. Okay, Mr. Smith, are you back now? Okay, was going to join back. Okay, whenever you are there, if you are there, so just speak and then we'll take it from there. Let's take one more question and then we'll go back to okay, good afternoon. As mentioned earlier, we feed a lot of data into this AI. So how do we ensure data protection by using the tool from any angle we may look at it? Okay, so that is also very, very important when it comes to data protection. And that's where AI and data protection governance comes in. So we don't use AI carelessly. I mentioned earlier, a lot of organizations, even if you say you are not using AI as an organization, your staff are already using AI. So the best thing is to make sure that you have this governance in place. What tools are accepted? What kind of data can we put there? What kind of results do we get? How do we verify to ensure that we actually are doing what is right within the confine of what we do? So it is very important when it comes to data protection and data in AI, especially with the NDPA in place in Nigeria. As organizations, we want to be very careful with that. Mr. Smith is going to, I hope we still have time to talk more on the data protection side of things. And then if he's not able to, I'll just quickly touch on it. And like somebody has suggested, we may have to do this again because of the network issues that our speakers are having. So lastly, before I go on to the data protection side of things, somebody is asking, is there any prompt engineering short courses you can recommend? Yes, there are a couple of them. I think Google has one as well. Maybe when we are sending back emails, we could recommend some of those for all the participants in the room. So yes, there are a couple of them. You can also go online and search. Be amazed at what you find. So thank you. So we quickly go to the NDPA, the data protection side of things. Because of time, we need to, to start rounding off at some point so that we can give room for more questions. So when we look at NDPA and AI, the two of them, at this point must be discussed together because there's no AI without data. So what are the things that organizations, whether small or big, irrespective of the size, of the sector, of the industry, what are some of the things that we need to start looking at? So there are a couple of principles under data protection that we have to consider. One is lawful basis. So the data we are collecting from our clients, from our customers, from students, from patients, from members of our associations, from different people that come to us. What is the lawful basis? Why do we have to collect it? Another thing is consent. You will notice that before we started recording this, we had to tell everybody that we're going to start recording this video. So we pretty much just got your consent to do that. So the information that we are collecting from people, are they consenting to, giving that to us? Purpose limitation in that we collect the data for training purposes, then it must not be used for marketing purposes. That's when we begin to talk of the principle of purpose limitation. Data minimization. So imagine for this training now, so we collected some data at the point of registration, your name, your email address, so that you can reach out to you. So imagine we are asking you for what's your religion? What tribe are you from? It has no basis for, we cannot justify collecting that for training purposes. And that's where data minimization comes in. Whereas organizations, and this is irrespective of size, irrespective of industry or sector, we have to be mindful of the data we are collecting, just enough to be able to service the clients, the people that we are collecting their data. Transparency, so we need to know why we are collecting the data. In terms of security, that is very important. The data subject rights. So data subjects are you and I, individuals. So my email, my name, my phone number. So anybody that you can trace back those information to, those are called data subject. And like Mr. Smith mentioned, I hope he's been able to join back. The data subjects from the NDPA now has rights. They can sue, they can ask questions about the data that is collected, and so many things around that. So organizations have to be careful how that is done. Third-party processing. So if there is a vendor, a partner that we have engaged our organization, how do we ensure that they actually are managing this data as organization, as also maybe doing all the right things, but the people that actually have access to like third parties and partners and vendors that we work with may not have that. And cross-border transfer, data privacy impact assessment, especially when processing of this data is at a very high risk. So we have to be very careful. Mr. Smith, are you back now, sir?
I am back.
I see you coming. Oh, finally. Welcome back, sir. Your volume is a bit low. If you can help us increase it a bit.
I will increase it.
Okay, awesome. So we stopped hearing you from your first slide, but like you have mentioned, you were still talking, assuming that you were here. I'm so sorry about that. I think the network just decided to have a mind of its own this afternoon. So in 10 minutes or maybe 5 to 7 minutes, if you can quickly just give us back your presentations. We've been engaging. We've had a couple of answer a couple of questions. So if you can just go from there, sir, maybe in 5 minutes, so that we can give room for questions and answers from the audience. Thank you, sir.
Where exactly was I when you couldn't hear me again?
Please, you were still on the second slide, I think.
Second?
Yes, sir.
I will just rush over the slide.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please, if you can do it in 5 minutes because of time, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just say, I won't talk about it. I'll just talk about privacy risk. What are the privacy risks? You have excessive data collection, unauthorized surveillance, consent violation, profiling and discrimination, identity theft is key, and misuse of data. A real examples, AI generated deep fakes, then there will be leakage of confidential information through AI tools. what will be the impact? Violations can damage human dignity. Human dignity is key. Then trust. Trust is very scarce. It's a scarce commodity now. Reputation of individual or organization, and then the credibility of the organization will be affected. Let me quickly go to the NDPC. They are the custodian, they are the regulator, and they have a lot of roles to play. And which means that if you breach, they will fine you. And if you don't pay your fine, you can go to jail. Then what are the recommended best practices? One, you must do what we call privacy by design. That is, whatever you want to do, you must think about security, you must think about privacy, so that you don't get to the end of the something and then say afterthought, oh, I have not put this one. Right from the time you want to do anything, you must think about the security aspect, what you want to collect, so that you don't collect what you don't need. And then also you must look at employees, do training not only for your employees, even at your house. Your children, your wife, your husband must be trained. Let's quickly look at final thoughts. AI is powerful, but it must be governed responsibly. Privacy and security should not be treated as obstacles to innovation. They are foundation for sustainable digital transformation. Responsible AI begins with respect for human dignity. Anything you want to do, you must take human into action. Because if you destroy my dignity, definitely I cannot go along with you. And then you must consider my privacy and then the security. Thank you very much. That ends this. So over to you.
Thank you very much, sir. So we just asked you a few questions, maybe like 2 or 3, and then we open the floor to people that may want to answer that question. So the popular demand is that we may have to repeat this so that we can get a whole lot more from you and Mr. Toyin in this platform. So quickly, because of time, so from a data protection perspective, sir, so if for an organization, what should be the first question they need to ask before using AI on customer, on employees, on students, on patients, or any other stakeholder data?
The first thing you need to ask yourself is, whatever I want to use AI for, is it lawful? If it's not lawful, it's not legal, why do you want to use it? You want to put yourself into a problem. Also, legitimate. Am I legitimate to use this AI? Legitimacy is very key. Then the consent of the people. You must look for their consent. And then you must also have policy that will guide you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So like you have rightly said, the starting point is not the tool from what you are saying. Like we said at the beginning, it's about the business itself. So the starting point is the business problem, the data that is involved, what are the risk level, and especially the governance structure. Those are the things that we have to look at. We should not look at the tool first and then coming back to the business problem, data involved, and all of that. Thank you very much, sir. So the other question I will quickly ask because of time is, so for those same use cases, what privacy or compliance issues should organizations watch out for, especially when you are looking at it?
Can you please repeat that question?
So what privacy or compliance issues should organizations watch out for? When we are, we've looked at different use cases across different industries and sectors. What are these some of the privacy and compliance issues that organizations need?
Let me quickly tell you something. Privacy notice is key. When you talk about privacy, you are telling the people you want to collect their personal data. Look, I am collecting your personal data, number one, based on legality. That is, why do you want to collect my personal data? What do you want to use my personal data? Whom do you want to share my personal data with? How long will you keep my personal data? And even in case I want to amend certain things, whom do I contact? These are very important. That's a privacy notice. Also, letter privacy impact assessment. You have to, because it's very key, because that will guide you. It's something like control for you so that you don't fall into wrong hands. Because as an organization, your employees will use AI, and you need to have policy on ground. And no policy, you cannot control it. Then you have to train them, create awareness within the organization and train them. They are your greatest asset. There are so many things you need to look at when you are for in that respect. Thank you very much.
So I'll take it from the last point that I make in terms of staff awareness. So it's very important that everybody at every cadre in our organizations are aware of data protection and data privacy, and also privacy notices and all of that. Lastly, before we open the floor again for our participants to ask questions, so for those that are listening today and they want to be AI ready and they want to be NDPA compliant, what are some of the practical steps or practical actions that you think that they can take? You know, they want to start now. They want to make sure that they are AI ready, they are NDPA compliant. What should they do?
The first thing you need to do, you must believe that you can do it. You don't have to be afraid. So, because if you don't have that confidence, you'll not be able to train yourself or be ready to use AI. The second thing is that you must be prepared. You have to give time for learning. When you don't have time to learn, definitely you can't learn. Then you have to be confident. The confidence must be there. And then you also need, have the attitude of I can do it. Because some people will be, it's only some people that can do it. No. If I want to use AI for the first time, you look for things that you feel, look, what do I need AI for? Ask yourself, why do I need AI? If you can convince yourself that you need that tool, then definitely you go for it. Just have growth mindset that I can do it and I'm ready to give time to it. There was a time I wanted to train somebody, a permanent secretary in Lagos State. He called me, she's a lady, she called me, I said, look, madam, I am ready. But one thing I want you to know is that I haven't got the time whereby I will come, you will have been in the office, and somebody will come in and they will be disturbing you. If you really want, do you have the time? Are you ready to learn? And she's ready. She told me she's ready. And we started. Whenever I wanted to do any class, she would tell the secretary, I don't want to see anybody. So you create time. You have to create the time and have the confidence, and then you are sure. You have the mentality that, look, I will know this thing. That is it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that response. Because a lot of us are afraid of, oh, this is too big. Oh, this is not for me. This is for some people. So we have to.
It's not about money. It's about the interest you have. It's not about money. Interest comes first.
Right, right. So, sir, once they have this mindset, you know, they want to go for it, they want to do it. What are some of the things that you think that they can do afterwards? You mentioned learning.
Can you repeat the question, please?
So now, as an organization, as a people within an organization, now we have the growth mindset. We are ready to go for it. We want to be AI ready. We want to be NDPA compliant. What are some of the things we need to do?
Let me tell you, from the organization point of view, the organization must have policy on ground. Policy is key. Policy is key. And from the participants or for the learners' point of view, you must make sure whatever you want to do is ethical. You don't go outside the ethics of AI. You don't go and use AI for deepfakes. You don't go and use AI to do something very destructive. It's going to work against you. You need the AI because you want to use it to innovate, to be more creative, and then to even improve your life. So that should be your first thinking. And when you have those thinking, definitely you will know where there are policies, you make sure you follow the policies on ground. But if you don't follow the policies of the organization on ground, you may also find yourself in a big challenge. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. So policies, so we need to have growth mindset. We need to make sure we have the right policies. We have to use all these technology tools responsibly and have proper AI governance in place. Thank you very much, sir. Because of our time, we just quickly take some questions from the audience. But before then, just want to throw some questions and see what you've been able to learn in this webinar this afternoon. So the first question is, can staff use ChatGPT or other public AI tools for work? Can staff actually use it? Can we use ChatGPT as staff?
What do you say?
Now, I'm just throwing, so we are throwing this
You
to
can use
the
depending on the
participants.
organization policy. Let me tell you one thing. Your organization matters to you a lot. If your organization says don't use it, they will sack you. But if they have policies on ground, you should use it. Look at the policy they have on ground and abide with the policy, adhere to the policy. So that is very, but whereby it's not like personal computer, one work computer. You know, some occasion we provide work laptops for you, but you don't have to use your personal things on that laptop. So because if you do, you can be sacked. The same thing is applicable to ChatGPT. We want to use it within an organization. You must make sure you are there with the organizational policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. And so because of time, we'll take one or two questions quickly from the room, and then we can call it an afternoon. Thank you so much for staying with us. Anyone wants to quickly, so I'm also checking if we have any question in the room. What policy, so Mr. Sokumba, this is for you. What policy or governance, sorry, I lost that. What policy and governance is required for an SME?
SME, the NDPC very lenient with SME. The first policy is this: you must, let me even start from somewhere. As an SME, you must register with Nigeria Data Protection as a data controller or processor of major importance. It costs you only 15,000 naira. And then when you register, you have the card confidence. So the policy, you must know that I told you about privacy notice. There's no SME that will not collect personal data of vendors, clients, even if we have only one or two staff. So why are you collecting their personal data? What do you want to use their personal data? How long are you keeping? So you need the privacy notice. Fortunately, it's for your own good as an SME to have a website. So you are showcasing yourself to the world. So if you have a website, then you must have privacy policy and cookies on your website. That attracts a lot of traffic and that helps you a lot. So if you want to use ChatGPT to do a lot of, you can even use it to customize. You can use ChatGPT to design your website. All you need to do is to instruct ChatGPT, I want to design my website. Can you design my website for me? But one thing is that you must be able to query, because the way you will talk to ChatGPT is what he will respond to you. The way I would tell, like if I want to write the letters to an organization now, I will provide all the things I need. You too may write the same letter, but if you don't tell ChatGPT, include this, it's true. But it goes beyond what you have told, ask him to do. So you now discover that it will do so much for you based on what you have asked him to do. So that is it.
Thank you very much, sir. Somebody is asking, good afternoon, how do we get the data policy to buy or download for free for SME?
Download, go to Nigeria Data Protection, go to ndpc.gov.ng. You will download it. Yeah, it's free. ndpc.gov.ng. You will download. You can also download guide, general application and implementation directive. Go to the ndpc.gov.ng. You can download the guide as well.
Right. Thank you. I think that's about, okay, somebody, how do we register, please, as SME? So go to the same website, the NDPC website.
Go to the NDPC website. You see a lot of things there.
Yeah. Okay. So as we begin to wrap up, Sophia, please, if you can put the feedback form. So we want to say a very big thank you for all our participants, not just for joining, for staying through despite the challenges we had. So we'll go back with our team and see how we can, bring Mr. Toyin back. Of course, he's going to come back. So we'll inform everyone when that will be, so that we can have a conversation with him as well, and other experienced speakers that we have in the room. So our company, Breeze 57, we provide data protection and AI consulting services. So if you're interested, you may reach out to us and Mr. Smith as well. and then we can advise you on how to go about that. So please, the feedback form, do I have the feedback form? Because we want to continue to do this, but we need to be getting, we need to get your feedback, what we didn't do well, what we can do better, so that we can continue to improve in, in delivering this and to serving you and our community better. So please take your time. It's a very simple form. You don't have to write anything if you don't want to. So please help us fill that feedback form so that we can hear from you. We also promise to give the NDPA readiness checklist. We are going to share that with you in two formats, as a PDF and also as a form that you can fill, and you can see your scores and see the areas where you need to improve. If you have more questions, you can come back to us, but that will be shared with everybody between today, but latest by tomorrow morning, so that everyone that registered for this event would have that. Once again, as you fill the feedback form, we like to say a very big thank you for all our participants. And first to our speakers, Mr. Tokunbo Smith, thank you for always being there all the time, at all times. Whenever we call you, you're always, you're always ready. We really
appreciate. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We do not take that for granted. Mr. Tori in absentia is not here, but of course he will be back. Like we said, we will inform everyone once we are ready to do that. Thank you very much. So at this junction, I'd like to say a shout out to my guy, Mr. Ken. I see you. Thank you so much. Mr. Shegun, thank you so much. Dr. Abayomi, thank you so much for joining, and all my big guys that are in the room. We appreciate your presence. Thank you for your support all the time. So if you have any question, please reach out to us. You have our email addresses, you have our phone number. Thank you. We are always available to respond to you whenever you want us to. So thank you. Have a good afternoon. Hope to see you at our next webinar. Thank you, and God bless you.